Ever feel like you're stuck in a cosmic waiting room? Everyone else is out there manifesting their dream lives, and you're still waiting for your invitation to arrive?
I think we've all been there. It's easy to get caught up in that comparison game, especially when it feels like manifestation is the latest trend everyone's mastered but us, right?
Right. So today, we're diving into that very feeling and exploring a source that flips the script on how we think about manifestation entirely. What if I told you we might have had it twisted this whole time?
Oh, I like where this is going. Lay it on us. What's this fresh perspective?
Well, get this. Our source today suggests that instead of trying to crack the code on how to manifest, we should consider that we're already doing it all the time, even without realizing it.
Interesting. So instead of learning how to manifest, it's more about understanding something we're already doing.
Exactly. The source proposes we stop looking at manifestation as something outside of ourselves that we need to learn or attract.
That's a pretty big mindset shift for a lot of people, I'd imagine.
Absolutely. But it's a powerful one, right? So to help us unpack this idea, let's start by dishing the vision boards and cosmic orders for a second and get real. What does this already manifesting idea actually look like in our everyday lives?
Well, think about something as simple as going to the grocery store, right?
Okay, I'm with you.
You don't just walk in and wander aimlessly down the aisles, do you? At least I hope not.
Definitely not. Unless I'm feeling particularly adventurous, I usually have a plan.
Exactly. You probably have a meal in mind, maybe a mental list of ingredients, or even just a craving for something specific.
Oh, absolutely. I'm already picturing what I want to eat later.
And that right there, that visualization, that intention, that's the spark of manifestation already at work. You're shaping your reality before you even leave the house.
Wow, I've never thought about grocery shopping like that, but it makes so much sense.
Right. It's such a simple example, but it illustrates how we're constantly envisioning and making micro decisions that shape what we do, what we experience, what we bring into our reality.
It's like manifestation on autopilot.
Exactly. And this source emphasizes how, at its core, that's all manifestation really is. It's the natural process of thoughts becoming things. It's not about mystical rituals or secret formulas. It's happening all around us, all the time.
Okay, so if it is that simple and we are always manifesting, as the source suggests, then why aren't we all living in our dream realities? Where does it all go wrong?
That's where things get really interesting, where we really start to see the power of our thoughts and beliefs. This idea of inner shifts that the source digs into is key here. It's not just about acknowledging the desire, it's about understanding our relationship to it and how we perceive its possibility.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Break down these inner shifts for me.
It all comes down to how we perceive our desires and our relationship to them. There's this great quote from Neville Goddard. He says, "To desire a state is to have it." Really powerful stuff.
Okay, that's one of those quotes that makes you stop and think, right? To desire a state is to have it. It sounds profound, but what does that actually mean in practical terms?
I think it's about recognizing the inherent potential within our desires. If you truly couldn't have something, you wouldn't even be able to desire it in the first
Um,
place, right?
oh, that's an interesting way to look at it.
Like the very act of desiring something suggests it's within the realm of possibility.
So our desires are like these seeds of possibility. And maybe instead of just acknowledging those seeds, we need to nurture them, help them grow into the reality we're envisioning.
You got it. And a big part of that nurturing is understanding the power of our internal state, which is where those inner shifts come into play. How often do we get caught up in what we don't have or what's not working?
Oh, all the time.
Right. And in doing that, we might actually be blocking the very things we want from coming into our lives. It's like we're accidentally manifesting more of what we don't want.
It's so true. We've probably all had those moments where our worries and doubts seem to snowball and suddenly it feels like everything is going wrong. Is that what this source is getting at with shifting our internal reality?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing that we have more control than we think, and it starts with awareness. And then from that awareness, we can start to make some practical shifts.
Okay, I like where this is going. So how do we actually do that? How do we shift our internal reality to be aligned with what we want to manifest?
The first step, and this source really emphasizes this, is all about shifting our focus. It's about being really intentional with our energy and attention. Instead of dwelling on what's not working or what we're afraid of, we can make a conscious effort to focus on what we do want to experience.
Okay, so less, I'm never going to get this project done on time, and more, I am focused and capable, and I am going to rock this presentation. Something like that.
Yes. Exactly. It's about catching those negative thought patterns and consciously choosing a more empowering perspective?
I can totally get behind that. But what about those times when the gap between where you are now and that dream reality feels impossibly wide? How do you even begin to bridge that gap using just your thoughts and feelings? It can feel a little overwhelming.
I hear you, and it's a fair question because sometimes that gap can feel huge. And that's where this next practice comes in. It builds on what we were discussing earlier about aligning our internal state with our desired reality. The source calls it living as if.
Living as if. Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more. What does that look like in action?
It's about embodying the feeling of your desire as if it's already happening. Let's say your goal is to land that dream job, right? How would you feel if you already had it?
Confident, excited, definitely a little relieved.
Exactly. So tap into those feelings now, before the job offer even arrives. That's what living as if is all about. It's like you're sending out this signal to the universe, or maybe even just your subconscious mind, that this is the reality you're aligned with.
It's like you're saying, don't just think it, but really feel it as if it's already happened. Isn't that just tricking ourselves?
Not necessarily.
Mm.
It's not about denying our current reality or pretending things are different than they are. It's more about recognizing that our feelings are powerful indicators of our internal state. And when we can tap into those positive emotions associated with our desires and embody them consistently, we start to become vibrationally aligned with that reality. Does that make sense?
It does. I'm starting to see how this could really make a difference in how we manifest our desires. It's about becoming a vibrational match for what we want.
Exactly. And the best part is, it's something we can start doing right now in this very moment. It's about making a choice to shift our energy, our focus, our emotions. We don't need any special tools or rituals, just that internal awareness and intention. This source doesn't go too in-depth here, but I do think it's important to remember to be kind to ourselves throughout this process too.
Oh, absolutely. That's so important. We're all works in progress, and it's okay if we don't nail this overnight.
Exactly. This isn't about adding more pressure. It's about cultivating self-awareness and recognizing the power we already have. It's a process.
It's like we're not just handed a blank canvas, are we? It's more like we're given a canvas that already has some brushstrokes on it, and it's up to us to decide what we want to create from there.
I love that analogy. It really highlights the fact that we're not starting from scratch. And one of the things I appreciate most about this source is that it doesn't overcomplicate things. It boils down manifestation to something very straightforward, shifting our inner world to match the reality we want to see.
It really is a refreshing perspective, especially when so much of what we hear about manifestation focuses on external techniques or strategies.
Absolutely. This source brings it back to basics, reminding us of the incredible power our thoughts and feelings have in shaping our reality.
It's like that grocery store example we talked about earlier. We already have a vision of what we want before we even get to the store.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that same principle applies to bigger goals and dreams as well.
So, as we wrap up our deep dive today, what's one piece of advice you would offer to our listeners who are ready to start consciously directing this power of manifestation in their own lives?
Don't overthink it. Start by simply observing your thoughts and feelings. Are you caught in a cycle of focusing on what you lack? Or are you open to the possibility of your desires manifesting into reality? Remember, to desire a state is to have it. Cultivate that inner knowing that your dreams are within reach.
It's a powerful reminder that we have the power to choose where we direct our energy. It's not about ignoring challenges, but rather choosing to focus on the outcome we want to create.
Exactly. And like with any skill, mastering manifestation requires practice and consistency. So be patient with yourself and enjoy the journey.
This has been such an insightful conversation. Our source today has offered a truly refreshing and empowering perspective on manifestation, reminding us that we are active creators of our reality and that the power to manifest the lives we desire lies within each of us. Thanks for joining us on this journey of exploration and self-discovery. Until next time, remember, you are capable of amazing things.